Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 9th day of May. It's a Monday, 2022. Your Day with the podcast brought to you exclusively by Cowboy State Daily. Check them out at cowboystatenewsdaily.com, Wyoming's news authority. Also check them out on their Facebook page. Well, as we take a look at what's coming this week, first of all, it's going to be raining, snowing, windy, and cooler today across many areas. Then we have a couple of days where it's going to get warmer. Shower and thunderstorm activity across the northern areas, mainly northern Wyoming, Montana, and the Dakotas today. Scattered rain and snow showers will linger elsewhere early. But as you get further south, it's going to be more windy. It'll be cooler, but I'm afraid to say it's just the same thing we've been talking about all spring, the way it's unfolding here over the next 7 days. We're going to warm up in most areas Tuesday and Wednesday. We've got to deal with some wind. Then showers and thunderstorms, again for the northern areas, from late Wednesday through early Friday. Could be quite a bit of rain in some of those areas of the north. Sprinklers, can we put our sprinklers on? Some of you already have, but some of you are asking, is it time? Can I start irrigating? We'll talk about that. And it's the haves and have-nots. The way this spring pattern has gone, it's been a pattern that just keeps repeating itself. And that's going to be the case over the next 7 to 10 days. We'll take a look at that. Today's satellite imagery shows a swirl of clouds here over Idaho. We have a broad trough that's coming into the western United States right now. And this broad trough is going to cause unsettled wet weather here in the northern areas. You can see a large thunderstorm complex there over Minnesota. And you can see other clouds across the Intermountain West. And then, of course, across the southern areas where it's been so dry, very little cloud cover. Couple of webcam shots this morning along Interstate 80. This is on the west side of the Green River tunnels, west of Green River, Wyoming. A little bit of snowfall overnight and early this morning. This is what it looks like along I-80 near Granger, Wyoming, and southwestern Wyoming. Great to see that moisture, but causing a few slick spots in some areas. In the high country of the region, got a little more snow overnight and early this morning. And there's that large area of low pressure, very extensive area of low pressure all across the western United States. Notice the lines packed closer together. The jet stream winds are very strong, perpendicular to the mountains. So yes, there's going to be some windy areas. And where we don't need the wind, well, no one wants the wind, but we really don't want the wind down here where it's so dry. But again, it's going to be windy in those areas. Taking a look at the wind gusts, these are the wind gusts through Friday. So you can see across southern areas of the Rockies and the southern plains, very windy conditions here across southern Utah, northern Arizona, New Mexico, Colorado. Then some very windy conditions here at times across portions of northern Colorado, Wyoming, into the Dakotas and into the northern plains. So I hate to say it, there's got to be more spring wind we've got to get through this week. As we go through the week, this is what happens by Tuesday. Notice the trough kind of is still here, but it has a bit of a different configuration. Basically, it kind of splits into two pieces. And we have this low over northern California. We have a southwest wind ahead of it, so it's going to warm up. So this is the warmer air that's going to come into the area Tuesday and Wednesday across the United States. The southwest wind aloft will really bring in a lot of warm air into the central and western parts of the United States, at least from the Continental Divide and points east as we get into midweek. But as this low tracks eastward, you can see it here by Wednesday noon, it slowly starts to head towards the Rockies, central and northern areas. And then here it is. It's basically a trough and a front coming through during the day Thursday. And what will happen is there's going to be an area of shower and thunderstorm activity developing sort of in this area right here. And I would not be surprised Wednesday night and Thursday, we end up with some severe thunderstorm activity in this area here, something we're going to need to keep an eye out on as we get to the end of the week. And here's the rainfall forecast through Friday afternoon. And this is where we're talking about the haves and have-nots. So more rain for the Dakotas, more rain for Montana. And look at central and northern areas of Wyoming again and northern areas of Nebraska. This is where the real activity is going to be here with that system at the end of the week. The southern areas, this is kind of the southern extent of where those showers and thunderstorms are going to go. Washington, Oregon, Northern California, Idaho continue to have a cool, wet pattern here over the last 6 to 7 weeks, and that trend continues as well. But look at this. This is where it's so concerning in these areas here, along and south of I-70 in Colorado into Arizona, New Mexico, these systems, as they've been doing all spring, just going like this. And the systems that we need to come in like this, that is a pattern that you get in El Nino years or what we call neutral years, where the lows tend to take tracks like this in the spring. But these La Nina patterns, this is what happens with La Nina. This is why La Nina is so bad, especially for this part of the country right here. Although do notice, we do see the potential for parts of Texas, Kansas, and Oklahoma, and extreme eastern New Mexico to maybe get some shower and thunderstorm activity before the week's over. Later this week in the podcast, we're going to talk more about this region here and if there's any hope for rain anytime in the next few weeks. Snowfall, yep, as I showed you with those webcam images, there is going to still be high country snowfall with the cool April we had. And really, May has started off cool, even though we had some really warm temperatures this weekend in some areas. May, especially up here, is really off to a cool start. And here it is. These are the temperatures for the next 5 days. Relative to average, look at this contrast between the really warm weather here and the really cool weather in the Pacific Northwest and California and the western side of the divide of the Rockies and into western Canada. May off to a cool start. By Saturday morning, the low kind of congregates itself up here. We have a front that does come in Friday night and Saturday. So the weekend will start off a little on the cool side before warming up. But we have high pressure building here along the west coast, so that should bring warmer weather by early next week. Now, some of you are asking about sprinkler systems. Can I put the sprinklers to bed? Can I put my plants out? I will tell you that overnight tonight and Tuesday morning, it is going to be rather chilly. We're going to have a lot of areas in the low to mid 30s. These are the forecasted low temperatures tonight and into tomorrow morning. So for western areas of Colorado here, even into Utah, Idaho, look at these temperatures. Look at these temperatures back in the Pacific Northwest. That's cold for this time of year. So in this area here, don't put your plants out tonight or maybe cover them up. But I believe that once we get past a cold night tonight, we are likely going to see temperatures that aren't going to be as cold. And I do think the possibility of getting your irrigation systems going, getting them pressurized, I think by the middle to the end of this week, and certainly by this weekend, I think you're safe. I don't see any really hard freezing temperatures coming our way, especially after tonight. Now, a little bit of the haves and have-nots. What I'm showing you here are the last 2 weeks of measured precipitation in the west. And you can see the northerly bias that we've been talking about right here. Although we certainly did see along I-70 and points north and even some areas south of I-70 finally getting a little bit of rain. But you can also see this large area of white where almost no rain or no rain has been measured at all. But the last 2 weeks have been very productive in these orange and yellow areas where there's really been some really big help with precipitation. If you look at the 10-day forecast, notice where all the oranges and the reds are and the yellows. They continue to be in the same area. This is what I mean by the haves and the have-nots. It just continues here for another week to 10 days. I will talk about, as I mentioned earlier, later this week about this area and whether or not there's any hope at all in the longer term of getting badly needed moisture. Have yourself a great Monday. We'll see you tomorrow.